morning, you guys. Welcome to another installment of Mornin Oats. I got my oats, and I actually don't have any coffee because I already drank some this morning, so I don't want to have another cup. But let's start the discussion while I eat this beautiful bowl of oatmeal. So first off, before I start this video, I do want to say thank you guys so much for all your just like really respectful and positive comments on the last video that I put out, which was with my girlfriend, with Jessie. You guys were super awesome, and I really appreciate you guys. So that is gonna go into what this video is about. Whenever I release a video with Jessie in it, or when I talk about Jessie, or when Jessie's in the video, a lot of people start to ask me, what was, like, were you guys together when you were bigger, or did you have girlfriends when you were bigger? What was, how did that go about? How did relationships and stuff like that, girls, go about when you were bigger? So I kind of wanted to just talk about that in today's video. So the first thing I want to talk about, were me and Jessie together when I was heavier? No, I didn't meet Jessie until after I had lost pretty much all of my weight. She was working at the gym that I worked out at, and then I ended up actually working there too, and then that's when we started talking, was when I worked at the gym as well. So obviously I wasn't overweight at all when I was talking to her. Now, people always say like, oh, she wouldn't have liked you if you were overweight, and I don't think it's because she is shallow. I don't think she's shallow at all, but I guarantee that she wouldn't have even noticed me, because I wouldn't, the way that we got together basically was me, introducing myself to her and talking to her and initiating all the conversation, right? I wouldn't have done that if I was overweight. The only thing I would have done when I was obese is, this is what I did with all girls. This is how it happened my whole life, was I basically thought of myself, this is the best way I can explain it. So I thought of myself almost like as a movie character in like a movie role, right? So I put myself as like the fat guy that was funny, that made fun of himself, that was the friend to all the pretty girls, and was never like a love relationship or like a love interest. It was always like, I'm the guy that they talk to when their boyfriend, the guy that they like or whatever, did something wrong, or when they're upset. So I would put myself in that role, and I wouldn't have even tried to talk to her in anything other than me making fun of myself, because I was talking to a friend and I was like, this is the video I kind of want to make, and they're like, yeah, you totally did that when you were bigger. You would just make fun of yourself around girls that you thought were attractive, because you didn't even think of trying to get them. And for some reason, when I was overweight, I was always like attracted to the prettiest girl in the room, like the prettiest girl at the school, and to a point where it was like, dude, come on, like, you're not gonna get that girl. But in my head I was like, that's who I like, but I would have never let them know. I would never told them. So like, that's the reason I don't think me and Jessie would have got together. Not because she's a shallow person, but I mean, I wouldn't have expected her to like a 360-pound person. Call that shallow, say that, whatever you want to call it, but it would have been more how I would have acted towards her, and how I would have, I guess, presented myself towards her as an overweight individual, as someone that was obese, because I had no confidence in myself to actually talk to her. Because when we first met, I was the one that talked to her about, whatever it was that we talked about. I was the one that would, make jokes to her and stuff like that, and the jokes weren't about myself. And before, it would have been me just making fun of myself, like, oh, I'm sweating so much. Of course I'm sweating because I'm fat. Those were the kind of jokes that I made. They're always demoralizing to myself before somebody else can make the joke. That's just kind of how it worked. So that's kind of how it was always like when I was in middle school. So obviously before middle school, I didn't really care about girls that much. I mean, in elementary school, you like girls and things like that, but it's never super serious. So I don't really even think I had like a girl that I liked. But through middle school and through high school, I would basically make myself this character. I would portray myself as this person that it would, now thinking about it, it's not like it's something that I thought about when I was doing it. Like, I wasn't like, this girl's not gonna like me because I'm gonna try and do this and this and this. That's just looking back, hindsight is 2020. I've realized that when I was in middle school and when I was in high school, that no girl would like me because of how I would present myself, and no girl would, I mean, that's just how I see it. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's kind of how I think about it. And I don't think it was all just me. Like, I think there's some things that happened to me that made me think like that. So, I mean, there's so many girls that this happened to, but I've had a ton of girls when I was bigger tell me, oh man, you're like my brother that I never had, or you're like my friend that I've never, like, my best friend, I can never do anything with you, right? And I remember, like, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but when you're the person that's like thinking of this girl as, I want to be with you, I want to be in a relationship with you, and they say, you're like my brother. That's just like the worst thing you could hear your whole life. And I remember I would hear it and I'd just be like, here we go again. So actually, like, looking back on it, I don't think I ever had a serious girlfriend, or like even really a girlfriend, up until Jessie. So she's basically like my first girlfriend that I've ever had, my first serious relationship that I've ever been in. So I'm sure there's a ton of learning for me to do, but I gotta say that, I mean, it's the best relationship I've ever been in, even though it's the only one, but you know, I'm really happy with how everything has gone, and I think a lot of it is because of the confidence that I've gained from losing weight and just realizing, not just losing weight, right? You can be confident and be overweight, but I was just the person that wasn't. I was not confident. I made fun of myself a ton. So I think that losing the weight it gave me a lot of confidence, and that confidence is what she found attractive. Well, obviously I hope she found me attractive, but you know, the confidence was attractive as well. And you know, just putting myself out there, talking to her, letting her know that I liked her, that was a big thing. You know, I wouldn't let girls know that I liked them, anything other than a friend. So letting her know, hey, like, I want to take you on a date. Hey, like, I like you as more than just a friend. I want to get to know you. I want to get to know you more than just being your best friend or your friend or whatever. So I think that was huge for me, and it's just been really, really good. And I gotta say that I definitely would just self-sabotage myself when I was growing up. Never had really a girlfriend, just because I almost wouldn't even let myself, you know, I wouldn't even let girls think of me as anything other than like a friend or a funny fat guy or anything like that. So I hope that video helped you guys out. It's a shorter one, but I just kind of wanted to talk about that topic. A lot of people ask me all the time, I get that question, so I hope that video helped you guys out. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. There's one other thing that I wanted to say. Oh yeah, look up my fam.